Hey YouTube! So today is March 23rd. Nothing remarkable about that. But yesterday was March 22nd, and that signifies the 20th anniversary of the release of the original Resident Evil in North America on the PlayStation. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. So to commemorate this event, we're going to do not really review, more of an overview of one of my favorite pieces out of my Resident Evil collection. I love this thing. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be more of an overview instead of a straight up review, mainly because I've actually not used this before. I've had it a few years, and it's primarily a display piece. I do use it with my Chris Redfield cosplay when I go out with it, but other than that, yeah, it sits on the shelf and looks pretty, because it is. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of talk about it a little bit. It's kind of like an informal video I'm gonna do. I just want to babble. So anyway, so here we go. This is the box. Now this you can only get from Japan. So this is the Japanese packaging. As you can see, it's got all the Japanese writing and stuff on there. In the front, it says it's got it all, most everything in English, but there's a little bit of Japanese at the bottom. This is a neat box. I like it. I wish I knew there was a way, or I wish I had space on my display to show off the box along with the pistol inside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open it up. Now the rest of my collection, I wish I could show it off, but it's in storage right now. It's in my my storage shed, because like I said before, I moved, and where I'm at right now, I don't have a lot of room, so I kind of had to pick and choose what I brought with, and I just didn't have room for the collection. But I brought this. I always make sure this is with me wherever I go. So here we go. Here it is sitting inside the box. Oh, this is how it usually sits on my shelf, sitting in there like that. Now if you have it sitting straight up, the gun tends to fall out and mess everything up. Move it back a little bit. So let's go ahead and take it out. Out. There we go. I love this. I have coveted this piece ever since I first saw it in the early 2000s after playing through Resident Evil 3. And back then, Tokyo Marui only had the Jill version, and I would still love to find one of those, because this is the standard version that came out a few years ago. It's significantly more affordable, but it's also got some design changes. This is a gas blowback pistol, whereas I believe the Jill version is electronic, so it uses batteries. And this being a gas blowback, Airsoft is another reason why I haven't used it, because the instructions are all in Japanese. I couldn't make heads or tails of what I was looking at, and I'm sure I can go online and find videos on how to do this, but I don't know, I just haven't. So there's the pistol. There's the magazine. The magazine is all steel. This is a heavy duty piece. But also, from a collector standpoint, it's also kind of bad because the metal tends to, like, the finish on it gets messed up. You can really see it here on the trigger. See all that wear on there. So from a collector standpoint, that kind of sucks. But, you know, at the same time, I'm just kind of like, you know, this isn't anyone's gun in particular. So I'm cool if it's got some wear and tear on it. That just means it's mine. It's my Samurai Edge. So it's unique to me. So yeah, this is metal. You hear that? That's quite substantial. And when you put it in here, because the gun is mostly plastic, the frame and everything is plastic. It does have some metal bits, the trigger, safety hammer, the slide release, and this part right here for stripping it down are all metal. But the rest of it is plastic. The barrel, slide, frame, grips, everything else is plastic. Let's go ahead and I'll show some of the detail on there, on the slide there. It says Stars RPD Special Team. I love that right there. You've got the grip back here for pulling the slide back, and then you've also got it up here. I believe, because you know when you go to do that to put around in there, you need that grip. Do that. I think up front, now this is like an actual thing that they do on real guns. This is so you can do what's called a press check. And a press check is once you put the magazine in and rack it and you get around in the chamber, you go like this, you just pull the magazine back a little bit to see if there's a round in there. It's a press check. But I think that's what these rails are for up front, the ridges on the slide. Let's see what else. Okay. So if we flip it over to the other side, model Samurai Edge, law enforcement use only. That's really cool. This is something else that's different from the Jill model, because the Jill model, I believe, just says Kendo Gun Shop on the side here. So this is different than her model. Again, I believe it's because there might be an in-universe explanation for the differences, and I think it's because Jill and Chris got like the first prototypes. Jill, Chris, and Wesker. And then this is supposed to represent like the model that everyone else would have gotten. So this is like this basically, think of this as like Rebecca's gun, because when Rebecca joined Stars, she's brand new. She didn't have time to like customize her Samurai Edge, so like this would be hers. I got the gorgeous Stars emblem in the grip there. I love that. I love the way this grip looks too. I love how it's like the black insert with the wooden frame around it. I love that. Red dot for the safety. This is an ambidextrous safety, so you can operate it either finger, either thumb. Hammer's made out of metal. Got a nice, satisfying click to it when you pull back. Yeah, look at that noise. And then when you pull back, it also brings this back too, the trigger, which is really, really neat. Very, very well detailed. Now, in Japan, firearms are actually illegal. Like, as a private citizen, you cannot own a firearm. So Airsofts are really, really big in Japan for firearm enthusiasts. So their Airsofts tend to be a lot higher quality and a lot more detailed than some of the Airsofts you find in America. Like in America, it's just kind of like, oh, whatever, you know, it looks like a 1911 Colt, but, you know, that's about it. Like, nothing moves on anything like that. Tokyo Marui makes like one-to-one replicas of handguns. Like I've handled firearms my whole life. I've seen and handled a real Beretta, and that's what this is. Like, if you didn't know, the Samurai Edge is a heavily modified Beretta M92. So think of this as like the Resident Evil version of the LAPD Kimber SWAT special. Like, this LAPD SWAT team has like their own real-world version of the Samurai Edge. It's heavily modified 1911 that their SWAT teams uses. Think of this as like the Stars version equivalent of that. So, like I said, this is like a one-to-one replica of a real Beretta. So everything on here functions pretty much the same way as it would on the actual M92, except it doesn't actually fire bullets. It's made out of plastic. Because something else that's really cool about this is it's got this lever here on the side, and there's a button over here. So if you push that button and flip this down, the slide comes off, and you can actually field strip this down like you would a real Beretta. Now you can actually see in there's more bits and stuff. I think there's some more metal in here because the frame is actually quite substantial. This has a couple metal bits in here, like this rod and spring are metal. And you could strip this all down just like the real thing. I'm not going to do it because I did it once and it scared the shit out of me. I couldn't figure out how to get it back exactly. So we're just going to kind of leave that. But yeah, so it just comes right off, and then to put it back on, you just slide it back, flip that up, and you're all back together again. Now see, with the magazine in there, this has got good heft to it. This feels really nice. I really, really like this piece. Let's see what else. Anything else I want to talk about in here? Oh yeah, so since this is a Japanese import, there you see the gigantic, obnoxious orange tip on there. I wish I knew how to get it off, but I don't know if I actually would, because like I said, I use this for cosplay, so that tip has to be on there here in America. I I actually wish, I would love to get another one of these and take off the orange tip. Because that's how it's supposed to look. And that would just be a dedicated display piece. Like, that would not leave the house. It would just sit on the shelf and look beautiful. Like I said, I've never actually fired this Airsoft before. So if you come over here and take the little insert out, it comes with BBs or pellets. You have a rod in there for loading the mag. Let's see, take this tray out. I think I have like the catalog and everything hidden behind this thing. I do. So this is where I have the instructions. Comes with these targets, which is cool. See here, like here's a warning thing that came in there, and it's all in Japanese. I don't even know what's going on. I presumably it's don't give it to dogs, because dogs will shoot you with an airsoft. Definitely don't give it to babies. Babies don't need airsoft. Don't be an idiot and look down the barrel of your airsoft, or any gun for that matter. Don't ever look down the barrel of any gun. Don't shoot yourself in the face. Common sense stuff. So we have that. Here's a parts list. These are all of the individual components which comprise this airsoft. Which that almost looks like a real parts list for a firearm. Because there's just almost about as many little screws and bits and whatnot. And then on this side there's a black and white picture of the airsoft. Really cool. This is kind of neat. So here are the instructions, and this is they're just using a picture of the standard M92F airsoft that they have. So this is what the non-Stars version looks like, and it's the same gun as the Stars one, so they just use this. And on the back, all in Japanese, is the history of the Beretta. And again, I can't read any of that because it's all in Japanese, but I kind of know what it is. And then here's a brochure that it comes with, so you can see all the different things that they do. So just open it up. All the different pistols. There's the Samurai Edge. And they make lots of stuff too. Let's see, what are some of the... Oh, here's some of the bigger ones that they do. G36s, AK-47s, AK-74s, P90s, MP5s, MP5K, Thompson submachine gun. They make lots of stuff. And they've got the Japanese prices in here too. The Samurai Edge model retails for 16,800 yen, which, let's see, to convert it to American dollars, you move the decimal place like over 1 or 2. 2. I think it's 2. So that's like $170. I think I have for like $150 on eBay. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, this is just a quick overview. There's really, not a review, just me kind of babbling about it, because yesterday was Resident Evil's birthday, and I feel I should do something to commemorate it, but everything's packed away. I don't have access to any of my games, so I think I'll just talk about this, because I love this thing. Yeah, there's another company, I don't know what they're called, but they're making their own version of the Samurai Edge, and it's gotten pretty good reviews, and unlike this, the whole body is made out of metal. So presumably in the hand it should feel more like a real Beretta than this does. But this feels nice. I really like the way that this feels. Oh, before I forget, a couple other like metal bits on here. The sights here are made out of metal. This is kind of going against my inherent handgun safety training, but I'm going to do this to show you how good the sights look on here. Look at that, you got the white dots. That's what it looks like looking down the sights. Yeah. Serious zombie killing weapon right here. Well, if it was a real gun and an airsoft. One day I would love to get a real Beretta and bring it to a gunsmith and just be like, make this. Make the Beretta look like this airsoft. And then I would have a real Samurai Edge, which would be amazing. So, alright guys, that's just my quick overview of the Tokyo Marui Samurai Edge Standard Edition from the Resident Evil video game franchise. If you want to get your own, you can find them all over the place. If you go to like anime conventions, I've seen them there. eBay, search around online. Might be a little tricky because it's an import. You can't buy these in America anywhere, unfortunately, unless it's a convention because they import stuff there. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video. Hit like, dislike. Do you have any fond memories of Resident Evil that you'd like to share down in the comments below? If you don't want to talk about the Airsoft, you want to talk about the video games, share your memories. I started playing Code Veronica back in 2000. That was my first Resident Evil game. And then I worked my way backwards because I played Code Veronica, then I played Resident Evil 3, then I played Resident Evil 2. And that was about as far as I can go because I played on the Dreamcast ports. And then when I got my GameCube, I played Resident Evil 0. And then I couldn't find the Resident Evil remake anywhere. So I finally found it and I played it. So I played out of order and backwards. 6 was the last game I played. I haven't played any of the new ones. Don't really care for them. Operation Raccoon City was alright. Haven't played any of the Revelation games or the Mercenary games. Mostly the old school ones. I really, really love the old school Resident Evil games. So, yeah. Do you want to share your thoughts on Resident Evil or just talk Resident Evil with me? Throw your comments down in the section below. We'll talk Resident Evil. You know, do you have the Tokyo Marui Samurai Edge Airsoft gun? You want to talk about that? We'll talk about that. So, yeah. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to stay subscribed to all the videos coming out on my channel, hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.